Things have changed in society, perhaps in the last, well, maybe let's say 50 years, maybe 40 to 50 years, where it was the days where families tend to have to say the phrase, the nuclear family. You know, Granny lived just down the road, or was even lived with the family. She was a respected member of the family, and people would, apart from just doing babysitting, she was an oracle in a way. People could go to her for advice and say, or she would offer advice, not always welcome, but she had a voice. And then things changed a bit because life's moving on and everything, the faster pace, and that sometimes older people feel a bit left behind.
You look at, there's a monkey dropping down from a tree.
Well, the thing is, like with Jack and the lady here and myself, we in our younger days we knew peace, but then we knew 5-6 years of war. Then after this city was bombed to heck, like several other cities in the country.
We was bombed out 3 times, so we've seen a bit of variation where we've moved to different areas. So, and housing was, you could rent anything then, because nobody wanted it. Yes. Then 14 I started work and been going ever since.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, when I left school, it was only factories. So I went in the corset factory. Yeah.
When me and Nick, we come in here, we think it's really welcoming and friendly and really nice environment, and I can see why people come in and want to be here to socialise. Do you think that the younger generation that come in are a benefit? Are they doing?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Look, the students, they've been very good also. Yeah, very good.
What's your opinion on them coming in and helping out?
I agree with it. Yeah. It broadens their mind and the other people like it anyway.
Can you please tell us what's happening here today at HUK?
Today it's part of volunteering week, but for the last few weeks we've had students coming in about a day a week, painting the internal rooms and the corridors of HUK. It's the drop-in day centre for older people who are slightly isolated in the city. Our students do come here on a regular basis anyway to engage with activities with older people, but the painting project was a project asked for by the Chief Executive of HUK here to brighten up the centre. It's a really lively centre, but it was a very horrible institutionalised pink colour everywhere, and she really didn't like it. A lot of the users didn't really like it, so we wanted to inject some colour into it because it's quite a lively building, as you would have seen, so we wanted the colours to reflect that.
Why did you volunteer?
I don't know. I just have I'm calmer hoarding, you know, and plus it's always like nice to gain a few skills. I've never painted before, and I was like, hey, I could learn something new, and then on top of that, it's just something to do rather than study all the time. You know, like if you when you're in university, when you're in life, basically you get into a routine. It's like wake up, do something, and then you repeat for the rest of the day, go back to sleep. So it's kind of nice to do something you don't usually do, and instead of like in that routine sort of thing.
Again, what's got to be considered when it comes to young people coming to a place like this is the generation gap.
Yeah, if they're suitable.
See, I mean,
Well, I've sat and talked.
Jack's a grandfather. I'm not. Barry's a great grandfather.
I'm a great grandmother.
This
13 times.
lovely young lady here, you wouldn't believe, is also a great grandmother, isn't it?
Yeah, 13
And they're
times.
only, well, you could say, if schools were like they used to be, they probably only just left school.
Yeah,
You know? And
but
it's
if
difficult,
Yeah,
for them to understand each other fully.
Yeah.
The elderly might understand the younger ones a bit more because they've had young ones themselves. But it's
what-
difficult for the young ones to
Yeah.
always understand where the elderly are coming from.
Right,
Know what I mean?
yeah, if I speak,
Well, if you do, explain it to me.
One of the main factors here in Age UK is younger generation coming in and helping the older generation with technology.
Yeah.
Do you think that's one of the main important things for you to educate them about?
I don't know. I think it's 50-50 between interacting with the older generation and stuff. You know, I think it's 50-50 between teaching them and bringing them up to like the same level in technological knowledge with us, and at the same time, I don't know, it's just getting to know other people and getting rid of these boundaries. You know, it's like we have in society in general. And I think the age boundary is one. People don't really realize it. You know, it's like how many old people do people know other than their nans and stuff, you know? And it's a bit weird, you know, to like be friends with old people in society and stuff, and it's just get rid of those boundaries. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that, Shares.
No worries, thank you.
yeah, well, to a degree, I agree with the council because what they do in here sometimes I think is terrible. Now you take that monstrosity they built out there. I've felt it, I've been shown it. It must be costing them an absolute fortune because I don't bet old Darren's doing it for nothing.
Which monstrosity is that?
It's
Outside there, called a shed.
You know what it is, don't you?
What is it?
You know the old containers?
It's a shed, metal shed.
Yeah. The containers you see on the docksides.
Yeah.
One of them.
And you're not happy with it?
I've never.
We're happy with it.
I've never.
We don't
Anybody
care
got
to
anyone got a spare hand grenade?
You don't see the point.
I don't care to
I don't know what
No,
these
don't
containers
worry me.
are like.
Don't worry me.
You learn
As long as I
something
need a bit of
every
safe.
day.
It's a square, what you might call a square metal box. It could be square, oblong, or you know.
Yeah, but those bought shed.
What does Age UK do, and what's its purpose in the community?
Age UK, there are various branches in every city, in most cities in Britain, and they're there for people that are older and in the later life, and they help people with information, advice, and provide companionship for them in our day centres. And for some people, if they've been isolated or depressed or for a long time, making a decision is quite it's difficult for them. And unless somebody notices them, and hopefully that is increasing, that more people are aware that there is a problem for older people living on their own who are isolated.
If you didn't have Age UK, you'd be sitting home and not doing anything. So are you glad that it's here somewhere for you to go and talk to people? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He said, if you didn't come here, would you be sitting at home? Yeah.
So it's that lifeline to
Now, the
to
only
have
reason
something.
why
Well,
I
if
come
it's,
here
Oh,
now
it's all right. I
is
paint.
for the companionship. That's the only reason why I come
It's
here
lovely.
Got
now.
me stitches.
It's lovely. It's lovely to come in and talk to someone.
Yeah. I lost a wife 4 years ago, then I discovered Age Concern. I just was walking to Asda and popped in, see if they sold cups of tea, and they did, and I've been coming ever since. And I became a helper.
So your role here, what is your role when you come to Age UK?
Just a helper.
And
I help them organise to play games or anything.
The very first time they come in, and they're naturally nervous because it's a strange situation, and they sit down, and it's a bit like you take your coat off. Well, they're taking their nervousness off, and they'll sit, and they'll listen, and then they'll say something, and they'll join in a little bit, and then they'll have a little bit of a laugh. And this carries on, it goes at its own pace. Sometimes it can happen in one day. Sometimes it might take 2 or 3 days, or even a week. But there is the sense of, instead of having this coat on, this tense, this bud, it opens up, and it is like flowering.
I never.
If you didn't have it, it'd be worse.
Yeah.
Where would you go?
Well, that's quite true. Yeah.
Just sit at home on your
I
own.
mean, in hospital,
Yeah.
everybody.
It's a bit twee, my rosebud analogy, but it's just the way it is. It's just wanting to see. It's like watching somebody flower.
How are you, mate? You good?
Not too bad.
Good.
Do you want my best side or my worst side?
Any side you want, you look good.
You know, in the old cowboy films, they usually got, if somebody's wanted,
Yeah.
they usually got a poster. Sorry, that wanted dead or alive. There was a Western film on the other day that had up there, wanted in any condition. Rather amused me. Am I putting you off? What you do?
You're perfect. No, no, fine.
No, I'll see you later.
Yeah, we'll come chat to you again later on, Ron.
Yeah, right.
Cheers, mate.
We've got representatives from ASDA, and we've got we're working with Groundwork Solent, who are working with Dulux on the project. So we've got them as well here today, and of course our own students from the university.
As you can see, there's all the different colours on the walls and the murals. And we've had lots of comments, particularly in the dining area. It was, I mean, you can see the difference. I mean, it's just really bright, and they've got the nice curtains up at the windows and everything. So it's made a tremendous difference down there. I mean, you come in here, you've been coming in here quite a lot with different projects, and you've got to know some of the people here. And so it's, you maybe remembered some of their names, and you can refer to them by their name, and they will remember you. Oh yes, those are the chaps that come in and film us and record us. So there's a thing's grown up there, and quite often people refer, after you've gone or the other students have gone, they'll say, oh, it's just like having the grandchildren around. Now that's a great compliment to the youngsters that have come in. But it's something that we do need to continue to do that and keep that up, because life's moving on and everything, the faster pace, and that sometimes older people feel a bit left behind. But you're bringing them back into it again, the intergenerational work.
Hello, Ron. What are you thinking of all the painting? What are you thinking of all the painting?
I'll try not to.
Think they're doing a good job?
No, it is quite pleasant. It is pleasant, yeah.
It's better than pink, isn't it?
Pardon?
Better than the pink. that you had before.
Yes, it is very nice. It really is. I'll say little things and silly little jokes. But I don't.
If you haven't got a sense of humour, it's not worth being here, is it? Eh?
That's right. You tell them, my love. You saw them, mate. Sorry. I'll see you later.
I'll see you next week, Ron.
Yeah, no, will you be around next week?
Yes, next Thursday, mate.
Oh, next Thursday. Right, I'll see you then.
See you, mate.
See you later.
Cheer out then.
The intergenerational things, I would say, is the most important area, and it's sort of a win-win situation. They gain the experience of working with an older generation, and I haven't yet come across a student that hasn't got something positive from being here. What you put into it, you'll get. The more you put in, the more you'll get out of it.
Perfect.